It was a quiet day in the Johnson household. Ordinary, peaceful, until the unimaginable happened. Pam and Steve Johnson's 2-year-old daughter, Teresa, was outside playing. Suddenly, their son Brian came rushing in, his face pale, his voice trembling. A boy took Teresa. Panic hit like a wave. Pam and Steve bolted outside, their hearts pounding as they scanned the neighborhood. Teresa was gone. They ran from house to house, shouting her name, praying desperately. They called 911 from a neighbor's home, hope slipping through their fingers like sand. Fear hung in the air like a heavy fog. In the midst of the chaos, they remembered something chilling. Steve's mother had been having disturbing dreams, 3 nights in a row, dreams of Teresa hurt, dreams of death. They hadn't understood it at the time, but now it felt like a divine warning. 45 agonizing minutes after the emergency call, the answer to their prayers came from the most unexpected place. 2 Christian women sitting in a nearby restaurant were suddenly overcome with a spiritual vision. They felt compelled to tell a neighbor to search the creek. That man obeyed the nudge. He entered the shallow water, and there, beneath the surface, held down by concrete blocks, was little Teresa's body. She had been underwater for over an hour, naked, beaten, still, lifeless. Paramedics arrived and, seeing her condition, declared her beyond revival. No heartbeat, no breath, no signs of life. But one paramedic felt something stir inside him, a quiet voice, an urge, a leading from the Holy Spirit. Acting on instinct, he picked up Teresa and squeezed her tiny abdomen. Sand and water spilled out. Pam, a nurse herself, arrived and assessed her daughter with a clinical eye. Every sign pointed to death. But Steve remembered something profound. Weeks before, God had told him the next miracle he would see would be a resurrection from the dead. With unshakable faith, he began to pray. Not just any prayer, but a prayer that reached into heaven and pulled on the promises of God. The hospital waiting room began to fill with believers. 30, maybe 40 people, all crying out to God. Suddenly, they began to pray for things they couldn't have known, specific medical terms like medulla oblongata, the very area of Teresa's brain that would need healing. An EMT in the room later described feeling a warm tropical wind sweep through the space, and then it happened. Teresa breathed. She had been clinically dead for over an hour, with a pH level of 6.3, the level of a corpse, but she was breathing again. At the Children's Hospital, doctors gave her a 50-50 chance of survival, warning she may suffer brain damage. But Teresa shocked them all. That very night, she woke up, answering questions correctly. Dr. Moya, the chief physician, called it off the charts. Today, Teresa lives with no memory of that terrifying day. She's not afraid of water. She's not afraid of strangers. She is whole. Pam and Steve chose to forgive the young man who abducted and harmed their daughter. They saw past the horror and recognized a deeper truth. He was a broken soul, deceived by evil. Steve even visited him in prison, offering forgiveness, love, and the hope of Jesus Christ. Their story is one of grief, faith, resurrection, and the power of prayer. It's a living reminder that God is near, that He listens, and that He answers. So if you're facing your darkest hour, don't despair. Call on His name. Gather people to pray. Speak life. Speak healing. Believe. Because if God did it for Teresa, He can do it for you too.